أول يوم راح مني النور.
Anniversary of the opera. Normally, every October, the Opera House celebrates its birthday or anniversary by inviting many artists to give a group show. This year, I'm honored that the Opera House decided to host my exhibition as the first time to have for this occasion an individual show. An honor that I do not deserve, but I'm very happy to do that and to be here with you. The second occasion is the passing of half a century since my first exhibition. So this is my golden jubilee tonight, 50 years since my first exhibition in 1971. But the third, the last but not the least, we have gathered all tonight to honor one of Egypt's most fabulous, brilliant movie stars. Her name is Mrs. Lobna Aziz. Aziz has been a star since a long time. She studied in the United States and visited the studios of Hollywood. And when she came here, they asked her to do a comparison between Studio Masr and Hollywood. So I think she answered, but I don't know Studio Masr. I have to go around. So they took her around Studio Masr, and somebody noticed her and gave her a first role against Abdel Hafiz. Am I right? The first portrait that we see of her over there is a portrait based on a photograph that she herself has given to me. It's her favorite photograph. And the second one is inspired by her role in Arus al-Nil, the Bride of the Night, a very, very famous movie that was done many years ago, where there is this engineer digging, and then they stumble upon a tomb of the last bride of the night, and then she starts to appear like a spirit that only he can see, other people cannot. And of course you can imagine the humor in that, especially when it's played by such a gifted person like Lobna Abdel, the legendary Lobna Abdel. Let's give her a hand. So I would love her to stand and just give us 2 sentences so we can hear her beautiful voice.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fadel, and thank you and for being so kind to me and so generous. Dr. Fadel exaggerated a little bit in giving me so many compliments that I don't think I deserve. I have worked in many fields in the art and have enjoyed them all, worked hard and still do. And I feel very honored that he chose to paint me, especially in this movie, which was my idea and is a very popular movie until now. And I'm very proud of it because it reminds us of ancient Egypt, which very few movies do, and the greatness of ancient Egypt, which my dream is for us to return to the glory of what ancient Egypt was for modern Egypt. And this is, I won't be around, but I hope one day Egypt will return to be a glorious civilization as it once was. So, thank you.
On this wall, we are going to see many movie stars. We find first, maybe you will find it strange, why did I pick a role of Omar al-Sharif with Shadia and not Farid Fadel? But he once said that he feels more at ease when he acts against another female lead because Fadel had a very prominent and strong presence that sometimes overshadowed his own performance. But Fatin is not too far, it's in the next portrait. So she's looking at that. And this is Occassion in a very rare picture with her favorite cat and some tulips in a fish bowl. And then you come here to another one of Shadia's solo. This one represents actually the inspiration. So inspiration comes as a wind, as light, and with it carries the petals of roses. And those come with strong impressions and wind until she's trying to catch it. You know, every artist needs to catch the inspiration because it's very fleeting. Unless you write it quickly, the poem goes away. Now she became the queen of Iran. So this is a royal court that also has the allure of the attributes of royalty, all diamonds and stuff. But you can look at her face and she has a very sad. I think Charles de Gaulle once said she is the woman that God left his signature on. المرأة التي ترك الرب توقيعه عليها. دي كلمة من Charles de Gaulle. But she was very sad in Iran and they wanted to make her really Persian. So the mother and the brother of the Shah advised him to send away all the ladies in waiting that came with her to Egypt, so she is forced to speak fast. And that was very hard. She became very depressed. And she took the occasion of the marriage of one of her sisters to come back to Cairo in 1945 and stayed on and filed for divorce, which was not accepted by Tehran. So it was only one-sided divorce in Egypt. But 3 years later, Tehran accepted the divorce and gave her a Farsi divorce on the occasion that she leaves her only daughter, Shahnaz, Princess Shahnaz, in Iran. And this is how she got off the hook and became free again. And a couple of years later, she married Ismail Shireen, who was the Minister of Defense in Egypt, and she had a son, Hussein, and a daughter, Nadia, from him. And Nadia was married shortly to Yusuf Sha'ban for a short time, and they had one daughter that was born shortly after the 6th of October, on the 9th of October, 1973, and so they called her Sina. Sina Yusuf Sha'ban. That is the granddaughter of Princess Fawziyah. Now on the main wall we have a very important painting because there is no opera without ballet. You have to have ballet. And I chose a French ballet, Giselle. I know that people that love ballet find Giselle very enticing. Well, in the first act, Giselle loves to dance, but she has a romantic heart. And she dances as a peasant woman. And then one noble person, Albrecht, sees her dancing and he loves her, but he cannot come in as a nobleman. So he dresses like a peasant and starts to dance in front of her. So she likes that a lot and they dance together. Only to find out that he was fooling her. He is not only noble, but he is also married. And his wife finds her and she is shocked. So she fights that fear and sadness by dancing more, but her weak heart cannot take it. So in the first act, at the end of the first act, she dies on stage. In the second act, you see the afterlife, and this is the beginning of the second act. This is the tombstone of Giselle by a big cross, and these are the flowers that her mother laid on her grave. Now she's a spirit, she rises here to find herself as a choice. Is she going to be forgiving or is she going to join the Willies? The Willie is a bad spirit. She used to be a lady that was fooled by somebody, and in the second life she is going to take revenge. So they actually entice all those bad suitors to dance until they die. And so these are the Willies. And they are calling her to join them. But she decides not to join them. And she's saying, no, I don't want you. I want to forgive Albrecht. So she decides to forgive Albrecht, and in this way she saves Albrecht, and she saves herself from becoming one of the widows. And that is her forgiving spirit over here. Transparent dancing by the moon. But the symbolism does not end there. If somebody is interested in astronomy, there is a constellation here. Those stars are not put randomly, they are real constellations. This constellation, if somebody is interested, is called the Coma of Bernice, or Coma Bernices. And that's the only constellation amongst many, many that is named after a historical person. Because Queen Bernice was a queen of Egypt, married to Ptolemy III, about 200 years BC. And she vowed to the gods that if her husband comes back safe from war, she is going to sacrifice her long hair and give it to the gods. And indeed, he came safe, and she sacrificed her hair. And so this represents the head of Bernice. And that is in real astronomy. Now, how about this constellation? You can follow it here. This constellation is called Hydra. And Hydra is a bad water snake. And this is a very long constellation. It covers maybe 100 degrees of the sky. And the bad snake that Hercules eventually kills stands over the bad lilies, indicating that they are really doomed to destruction. So this is the symbolism of Giselle.
Giselle.
خليك ليا خد عين مني وطول عليا وخد الاتنين واسأل فيا